Good morning, everybody. It's your boy D Mac. So let's talk. How was y'all weekend, man? I hope it was pretty good. My weekend was great. It's my anniversary weekend. Me and my wife celebrated, had a good time. Salute to her for putting up with me for all these years. And yeah, so let's talk about some of the things that happened this weekend. I was able to catch a few things this weekend that was going on. One of the main things was Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder 3. Now, in this fight, Deontay Wilder really showed his true colors. And this will go back. I always have something to refer back to, don't I? Well, I have a lot of videos. I have over 450 videos posted right now, if y'all didn't know. And that's a pretty good accomplishment for me. I feel pretty good for staying steady on this and working hard towards it. So yeah, but Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, this fight was a fight that showed us exactly what I was talking about a few weeks ago when I said, what is a champion? And I began to name the attributes of a champion. And one of those attributes of a champion is being a good loser, knowing how to take a loss and how to recover from that loss and come back. Deontay Wilder, he was built up in his mind so much that he was indestructible, pretty much the same way that Cus D'Amato did Mike Tyson in the beginning. He was so convinced that he was unstoppable until someone stopped him, and he just couldn't believe it. He couldn't take it. He couldn't be a good sport about it or anything, and it showed his lack of character because you win some, you lose some. And like I stated before, losing never made a person not a great champion. Muhammad Ali lost fights. He's still considered the greatest of all times. Sugar Ray Leonard lost fights. He's still considered greatest. Tommy Hearns, Marvin Hagler, all of these guys lost fights. Joe Louis, all of these guys lost fights. But that's not what made them loved, and that's not what made them great. What made them great was the way that they handled their loss and the way that they came back after they lost. Now, guys, nowadays in boxing, if they get beat twice, they're talking about retirement. Look at Wilder. He's talking about retiring because he can't beat Tyson Fury. But there's always going to be somebody that has your number. Always somebody that has your number, and he has to realize that. So in doing so, he's now put himself in a position to where all he'll be able to really do is celebrity boxing matches or either become a commentator. That's really all that's left for Deontay Wilder at this point. But I wish him the best, man. And Tyson Fury, salute to you. You're the new champ. You're the guy to beat, and you did it decisively. So I'm interested to see if you're going to take on Usyk next, because Alexander Usyk is looking for those titles to be contended. And so, y'all excuse the noise real quick. I got some stuff going on this morning. Oh man, there we go. So, like I was saying, Alexander Usyk is looking for those titles now, and so this is going to be an interesting matchup with Usyk and Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's a lot bigger, a lot taller, got some reach on him, and he's got the power. Apparently, the way he knocked out Wilder, he's also got some resilience by the way that he bounces back. He's not a guy that you're going to knock down and he's just going to stay there. Tyson Fury's going to get back up if he has an opportunity to get back up. So I salute that dude, man. He's a rugged warrior. I kind of like his style. At first, I wasn't really feeling him because he had some sketchy stuff going on, but he proved himself last night to be the champion that he's claimed himself to be. So once again, salute to Tyson Fury. Now on to my Washington football team. You know, I'm gonna go over this real quick. Just real quick. The NFC East, it belongs to anybody at any given time because the teams are so inconsistent, especially Washington. Washington's very inconsistent. They start out and they'll have every tool in the world and make it seem like they've got every piece to the puzzle. But then when they start to put the puzzle together, it never turns out right. And there's always that one puzzle piece missing. In Washington, that's their curse. The puzzle piece curse. That's what I call it. And so it looked like it's going to be pretty much the same as it always is in the NFC. Uh, the Cowboys, Washington, New York, and then Philly. Well, it might be Philly and New York because New York just lost Saquon and they lost Daniel Jones. So losing both of those may just put the Giants in that bottom spot and give Philly an opportunity to do their thing and come up in that third spot in the NFC East. So we're gonna sit back and watch this and see what happens. Dallas, they had a pretty good victory this weekend. Like I said, they played New York, and the Giants lost their quarterback and their main running back, who just came back from an injury. So Saquon is out again. Now, is he going to be plagued with injuries? Because this is going to become an issue, and this is going to make his stock drop dramatically if he can't keep himself healthy enough to give at least a half season to a full season. Yeah, that's going to be a big heartbreaker. And I love Saquon Barkley. I love the way he runs. He reminds me of Barry Sanders. But if he can't take care of his body and he's going to stay injured all the time, he's really no good. Kind of like a pistol without a pistol without a spring in it. It looks good, but it's not going to fire and it's not going to be effective. So I hope that Daniel Jones recover quick. I hope Saquon get it together and get his injuries under control so that they can have a competitive season. But right now, the way it's looking, they're going to be at the bottom of the division. There's going to be a two-way tie for last place with Philly. So yeah, that's going on. And game one of the WNBA finals was the Sky had 91 and Mercury 77. The Sky has won game one, so they're 1-0 in the series. The next game is going to be Wednesday night. So make sure you tune in Wednesday night for game two of the WNBA finals where the Sky is taking on the Mercury. Um, this is going to be a great series. We've been watching the whole season, and we've seen both of these teams do some great things, put up some great numbers. They're both in a good position to win this thing, so it's going to be interesting to watch. Next, while we're going to stick with basketball, let's talk about Kyrie for a little bit because Kyrie got something going on with him, and it needs to be addressed because it is concerning coronavirus and the vaccinations. And Kyrie definitely has been one of those outspoken people who says that he's not going to vaccinate, and in doing so, that's put his team in a pretty compromising space because now Kyrie can't play. He can't play any home games. He can only play away games, and that's going to affect the team as a whole. But Kyrie is standing on something. He's standing on principle. He's standing on his beliefs. And who was Andrew Wiggins, who had stood with Kyrie at first. Now he's taken the vaccine, and so, Wiggins made that decision for his future and for his family. So, that is what it is. But Kyrie is now standing alone. So let's see if they're going to begin to put more pressure on Kyrie now that he doesn't have a partner to stand with him. That's a known tactic is to single him out and then start to put on the heavy pressure because one man standing alone is easier to beat than two or three or four more standing together. And so I feel like they're going to continue to come at Kyrie until Kyrie either caves or he leaves the league. One of those two things are going to happen. And Kyrie Irving holds the cards in his hands because he's under a really big contract, and his team definitely needs him in order to do what they are planning on trying to do. But that's one of those deals where Kyrie has the right to do what he wants to and what he feels safe for him. And it is what it is. Kyrie, I salute you, man. Continue to stand firm on what you believe, brother. And to Andrew Wiggins, hey man, you do what you gotta do, bro. That's your life. Nobody else can live it for you. So when it comes to these things like this, I'm never gonna. Well, I'm not gonna say never, but most of the time I try not to say what a person needs to do because we don't know what's going to be the best beneficial outcome for somebody. We think we know a lot of things, but oftentimes we don't know anything. And once you begin to know that you don't know anything, then you will start to know something. If that makes sense to you. If it don't, then rewind it back and listen to it again. All right, so those are some of the things that's been going on in sports and stuff like that. And I also want to speak on um relationships. And I know this is a bit off topic, so I'll save that for another show another time. I'll go ahead and wrap this up this morning. I just wanted to give y'all just a little information about some of the sporting events that took place this weekend and my view on it. But I'm about to get out of here and I'll hop back on here in a little bit after I get some things done this morning. And this is your boy D Mac. You know what I say? Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.